Join Sean and Brad as they talk about sports and share a beer. From the east coast of Canada to the west coast of the United States. Over to you, boys.
Everybody, what's good with you? Guys, Beer Sports coming to you again. My name is Brad Tesh from the west coast of America. Sean Valancourt from the east coast of Canada, specifically Toronto. For now, Sean, hello.
How you doing, my man?
I'm doing pretty well. You know,
Yeah.
Just I'm feeling good. Yesterday was like the double fecta for life. You know, I got a nice little deep tissue massage and rolled into a haircut. Hit all my picks last week, so can't really tell me much.
Yeah, I think you actually beat me on one of the picks there, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's
My notes are that you sided with me in all my variations off of what Ryan had picked. So I think we're evened up.
Oh, okay. Because I thought maybe I picked the Cowboys, but then I'm like, did I?
I have a BT-SV next to the 49ers.
All right, perfect. Okay, so we both figured that out. Okay,
Yeah.
Good. So
I think I maybe convinced you in my argument.
I think so. Yeah. Man, oh man. I mean, speaking about that though, that's what we're going to be talking about is last week's Wildcard Weekend. And I also want to get into
this week's round of the
this
playoffs.
week's round as well. And I don't know if you saw Jim Matheson and Leon Draisaitl, their little exchange, their little tete-a-tete that just happened, and I'll get into that. And
Okay.
just get your
I know
opinions
one
on
of
that.
those parties, so that should be an interesting conversation.
Yeah, it is interesting.
I'm not short of opinions. I'm not short of opinions in this episode. So
I have some strong feelings about this because it's just like it's interesting.
I can tell by the wave in your hair that you're feeling good and ready to go. Like,
man, I feel like $1 million.
Raekwon's, slipping on the barbershop or whoever you go see, but Ghostface Killer.
I'm due.
You're overdue. We're being honest. But.
Yeah, I'm due for one. The beard's a little bushy. The hair's a little grown. Yeah, it's
uncomfortably stroking your beard since we got on this chat.
Listen, man. Hey, just remember, the guys, go out to, and I always do this, Brad. You're probably going to correct me again, but www.sportspodcastawards.com. Go out there and vote under news and current affairs. We're number 3. Keep going out there and voting. We're
holding tight at number 3, and we're waiting for a big push here at the end. So get us in there.
It.
We'll have a little celebration. We'll gloat a little bit. Show you the virtual trophy. It'll be our award. We'll just keep it at Sean's house. It'll be fun.
Man, all right. I know that you watched all of these divisional round games. I was sending Ryan updates because Ryan's not watching. Well, Ryan was our guest last week.
Yep.
Did very well, but he wasn't watching.
Ryan, the non-sports fan.
The non-sports fan.
The non-sports sports fan, Ryan. There was a great podcast umbrella. You should go check him out. His favorite, the premise that he has is my favorite is the worst of the best. And so
go
find those episodes. Go check Ryan out. Tell him we said hello.
Yeah, that's really good stuff there. But nevertheless, here I am watching these games and in complete. Well, I was euphoric for my Bills. I thought that game was going to be a lot closer. To be quite honest, I thought that game was going to be a lot closer. It was not, and they set an all-time record in playoff games, not punting and not kicking a field goal for every possession that they had,
or having a turnover.
I mean, Josh Allen was lights out. No big wind. I
wish they would have turned the lights out in that stadium. The worst game of the weekend.
You think so?
It was so under. I mean, I'm good for you. If you're a Bills fan, like, that game was awesome. If you're any other fan, it was terrible. It wasn't competitive. It just isn't. It's not what we expected to see. It's not what you would want to see from a Bill Belichick coached team. Yeah, it just was bad. It was just bad football all the way around. I mean, great for you personally, Sean. The rest of us, oh man.
I have to admit, I mean, I was pleasantly surprised. I was not expecting a blowout of that nature, but
yeah, I was. I went to the Seattle Kraken game during that game just to, 'cause I knew that wasn't going to be the best game of the weekend.
Man, but I mean, they for all that, their reward is to play Kansas City in Kansas, right? So it's in Kansas City,
yeah, Missouri, technically.
Yeah. So I mean, that's going to be an interesting game as it is. But that game, I mean, honestly, I'm not going to talk too much about it because I mean, that was the only thing really to talk about is that record. They blew them out of the water. They came out, they showed up, they did their job. Josh Allen looks like a quarterback that belongs in the playoffs. That's the other thing too, is that if you notice in these divisional rounds, there's teams that seem like they haven't been to the playoffs in a long time. And you could tell because it was just like, that's the way they played. They played like we've never been here before.
Well, not if you're Cincinnati. I mean, Cincinnati brought it to Las Vegas and
that is
broke
the
a
exception.
31-year streak.
Yeah, that is
You're going to feel real terrible when in 2 weeks Josh Allen loses to Ryan Tannehill.
All right, let's just stop here for a moment, okay? All right, let me enjoy this moment.
You're the one that brought him up. I was going to let you have your cake and
Yeah,
eat with the Bills, and then you want to jump on Josh Allen as this great quarterback, and
He is a great quarterback.
I can't do it.
Oh,
He's a
boy.
great Buffalo quarterback.
Well, there's some great Buffalo quarterbacks.
There's been a great Buffalo quarterback.
Yeah. I saw a tweet.
Doug Flutie was ahead of it. No, I'm just kidding. It's Jim Kelly, everybody. Jim Kelly is the greatest quarterback.
Now, what did you think of that Bengals Raiders game?
I thought it was wildly entertaining. I think that it was unfortunate what happened at the end with that ref, debacle. Let's just call it that. I don't know how you thought he was out of bounds to start with. To blow your whistle. I don't know why you blow your whistle there. I just, have a hard time with all that. I don't know. That was tough. That's a tough way to watch it.
Here's the thing. As long as there's refs, right? As long as there's any individual person that is there officiating something, there's always going to be that human error.
Did you see the news this week that the Major League Baseball all the way to the AAA level is going to have robot refs calling balls and strikes?
Did you say AAA?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So when you get up to the majors,
one step away.
You get up to the majors, and then what? You have to get used to now an actual person calling balls and strikes?
Well, I mean, I think you could make the argument that that's not going to be the case in a year or two.
That would be sad.
If it worked so well a year ago in that, independent league that they were watching, and now all of a sudden they're going to institute it at the minor league level, they must like what they see. I mean, there's still going to be humans at the plate and humans at the bases making calls, but they're not going to be making balls and strike calls, which
that's insane. It's
a step too far.
That is. But we saw that. We've seen this in regular season games in the NFL. We've seen this in playoff situations. We've seen this in
it's the Raiders getting burned again, right? It's not the Tuck rule, but it's close.
It's close. But here's the thing, though, is that these refs. Sometimes you wonder if they let the moment get too big.
No, they're only human.
I know they're only human, but it's like sometimes they
What
let
if
the
he
guys
had the
play.
whistle in his mouth and he just coughed? Who knows? Who knows what happened?
But sometimes you let these guys play. You let these guys play, and then sometimes it's like you're throwing dirty laundry out there for everything. It's like
very consistent. There's some fascinating articles if you want to go look for them about the difference in the crews, and that the crews are actually very consistent with how they call games. The problem is that I should say they're consistent within their own crew. They call the same amount of penalties game to game to game. The problem is that those crews are not consistent with other crews, and so that's where you end up with the discrepancy.
The problem. That's crazy. It's sad that the game came down to that, but I mean, congratulations to Cincinnati.
Well, it didn't just come down to that, though. That's
That's true. You know what? That's a very good point, Brad. It's a very good point. You still have to play all 60 minutes.
Yeah. It's very hard when there's other things that happen that also led to a loss. It's just unfortunate. That's the most glaring. But it wasn't so egregious that it, they played mistake-free football and got screwed.
Yeah, it's sad. But at the same hand, I mean, that was our Saturday games. So then Sunday rolls around. And you have the Eagles against the Bucks. We all knew what was happening there. I mean,
did we?
Did you really feel that? Did you?
No, I thought that Tom Brady. I mean, I knew they were going to win, but I didn't know they were going to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Tom puts it to another level in the playoffs.
I just didn't think it was going to be that. You have to wonder what that coaching staff was thinking, because. You don't know what feed you saw, but the local feed, local being the U.S. feed, had Troy Aikman, and they were showing how far off the coverage was on Devontae Smith because they were so nervous about getting burned, and they just would not adapt to that route. He didn't have a pass in the first half. That's your first round pick. That's the best receiver you have, and you won't throw him the ball. What are you doing? You're overthinking your scheme. They played right into the hands. This was not good football for them.
No, it's a learning experience, quite honestly. It really is.
Yeah, but you learned it in front of the country. It's a bad loss. That's a bad loss. I thought that Tampa would win. I did not think that Tampa would dismantle them. That game was never in question.
No. That game was.
You knew from the kickoff.
Yeah.
That first drive, you're like, oh yeah, they're not winning this game.
Yeah.
This is Tampa's game.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was very clear. It was very evident. But on a plus note, the NFC East had two teams in the postseason. So
imagine that. How do you think that even happens? It's so wild.
It really is. Yeah.
Well, the NFC West had three. And they still have two. So
yeah, I know it's insane.
You remember from the beginning of the year, someone actually said that would happen. I think that was largely shot down in this podcast. I got the teams wrong. Yeah, thank you.
You know what? There you go. That's what you deserve.
That's the smallest round of applause. Your comically small hands. Be a hand model for Baby Gap. Those hands.
Thanks. I pride myself on these. Yes.
Yeah. And how small your hands are. You're like, I'm not that big. My hands are just this small.
Yeah.
They just look a lot bigger than I am.
Man, I do have reasonably small hands. I don't know if we're still talking about my hands here, but they are. But they pack a wallop, I tell you. Jeez.
I believe they do. Yeah.
All right, let's get into this 49ers Cowboys game.
What a game.
It was a great game. I was there looking at that. I thought the Niners had this well in the bag because Dallas was just so undisciplined throughout that whole entire game.
Yeah. If you go back and look at the stats, I want to say they had 14 penalties, and 10 of those penalties either took away a first down from Dallas or gave San Francisco a first down. You can't do that. You can't be swapping that around. That's so terrible.
And then you have to wonder, Dallas played the last couple of weeks there of the regular season. They played backup quarterbacks to really bad teams. And now you're going up against the 49ers and you got to play that. And it's like,
Jimmy Garoppolo gave him life and got him back in like we knew he would with that horrendous pick that he threw. I heard yesterday in the barbershop from Lampton, shout out to Lampton for the best fade I ever have, but he's a big 49ers fan. And he was like, I just wish Jimmy G would get that interception out of the way in the first quarter.
And not when it's counting.
He's going to throw one. It's like, I just wish he would just get it out of the way.
Man, I was surprised in the fourth quarter how close Dallas made it, Yeah. And then watching San Fran, I don't know what in the world was going on with that they were letting him catch and get out of bounds there for the first little bit in order to get down.
Part of the problem is losing Bosa like they did and losing Fred Warner like they did. That really caused some havoc and let them back in that game.
Yeah, it did. It did. But I mean, you got to know that they're going to the sideline, right? I mean, that trick play, okay, whatever. It's trick play. But I don't know. The second one was terrible.
The strategy worked. The strategy worked, though.
It did. Until the end, this is where I start going to myself about Mike McCarthy. Is he the head coach of this team, or is Dak Prescott the head coach of this team? Because you got the first down. Why don't you just slide? Why are you trying to go for it? You're not going to go to the end zone. So he's there. He thinks he's going to have enough time. Where's your football IQ? Because you should know that this is not the way.
Yeah, you have to know in that moment that the ref has to spot the ball. Everybody knows that, right? Even the lay fan like you and I know the ref has to touch the ball. Mm-hmm. How do you get up and give the ball to your center and have him put it down? Why are you not seeking? And then you're blocking the ref from getting in there. What are you doing? Like, you've got to, and to credit that ref. I heard some chatter about the ref was slow and blah, blah, blah. That ref ran in, looked at a pretty good pace, knocked some guys around, set the ball down where he thought it was, and everyone was behind or in front of it. So he moved it forward half a foot to get everyone on sides, and then backpedaled into the defensive midfield by the linebackers, which is where they used to live and get crushed, instead of going back just to try to give them a shot to get down there. And they obviously still couldn't get it together. So,
but to me, that's just football IQ 101. You get the first down, you slide right away, because it's just like you need time. He ran
3 yards too far, and he didn't give the ball to the ref.
Yeah, that's unacceptable.
It's
unacceptable.
This is a conversation we had. Remember, you and I had a conversation about if Dak Prescott was worth the maximum amount of money, and I told you that he was not.
You did.
I said he was a good leader, but he wasn't smart with the ball, and that just was right there. That's where he was.
Like,
Dak was who we know him to be in that moment. And then he was a jackass after the game too.
Yeah, he was. That was completely uncalled for, what he was saying. I mean, telling the fans to boo the ref and everything. It's like, come on, man.
Well, so I don't know if you saw the whole press conference, but he was saying that the fans should not act that way. And they go, oh, that wasn't directed towards you players. That was directed to the refs. He goes, oh, well, good for them. Credit to the fans then. So, hey, Dak, don't wear a black turtleneck either with that gross beard you have. It looks like it's all one sheet of hair. Your 7 head looks like it got combed over with a fork. Haircut.
I mean, here's the thing. You come back from that injury. You bring your team to win the division. You're in the playoffs. You have the number one offense. There's no excuse.
Sure, you have the number one offense. And how many catches did your top 2 pass catchers have?
Yeah.
Amari had what, 3?
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb had 1.
Yeah, it was
Ezekiel Elliott had almost no rushes. Well, what are you doing with the ball? Like, he didn't deserve to win that game to start with.
No, he didn't. No, not with all those penalties, not with how disciplined they played. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Then we got the Chiefs.
They were sloppier than Mike McCarthy's weekly Friday dinner.
But that's the thing.
A man that size is sloppy.
Mike McCarthy looked lost in the whole entire thing about this. It's like, that's why I'm saying, who's coaching this team? I don't know.
I think that, we were talking off camera, but I think Jerry Jones has to pay Dan Quinn head coach money. You got to have some kind of contingency plan.
Well, then make him the head coach.
Leaves, right? The offensive coordinator for the Cowboys, Kellen Moore. What if Kellen Moore leaves? Right?
Well, Dan
Quinn leaves, you lose both your coordinators, and then McCarthy comes out stinking 1-3 next year, and you got to fire him.
Like,
you're gonna roll in with nobody.
Dan Quinn's already pegged to get a head coaching job somewhere. Like, that's a front runner.
If he wants one.
Exactly.
Maybe he doesn't want the pressure. Maybe he'll take head coach money to not be a head coach.
Yeah.
Maybe he likes what he's doing.
If you go work with Jerry Jones and he wants to promote you, I don't know. Is it worth the promotion?
Well, I think, that in my scenario, he's not getting promoted. He's just getting paid like it as a contingency plan.
Yeah.
So he's got the money. There's no salary cap for coaches.
Yeah.
You could pay him $1 less than you pay Mike McCarthy. No one's going to say anything about it.
That's true.
You want to get Mike McCarthy back in the film room instead of on the beach in Cabo. That's how you do it. But
then
jealous I want to go to the beach in Cabo.
That's it. Then we got the Steelers and the Chiefs. Did Roethlisberger end up saying that he's done? Like, I still haven't heard anything yet.
I don't know. I don't know that it was ever official. I think that it's widely known.
Yeah.
I mean, He conceded as much when he was walking off the field in Pittsburgh on the finale. That was his last time there because they knew being the last seed, he wouldn't have an opportunity to play a game there again.
Yeah.
But who knows? It's been Roethlisberger.
What I had to love at the end of that, because we all knew Kansas City was running over them. I mean, it's a shell of a team. Pittsburgh
Murdered.
Yeah.
They got
But they wouldn't let him get that last touchdown for him to walk off in the sunset. It's like,
and you shouldn't.
No, you shouldn't. I totally agree. I'm just there going.
Precedent.
Like it would have been magical if he gets it right. It's like, oh look, he gets a touchdown his last play, but no, he doesn't. Goodbye, Ben. Goodbye.
He didn't deserve a magical walk off.
They were playing their hearts out for him too. His teammates were playing their hearts out to get that one touchdown.
I think Juju Smith-Schuster came back early from his injury just to be on the field for Ben's last game.
That's crazy.
To be honest with you, I mean, I think he just wanted to do it, but
yeah,
because he looked like trash. He looked like he was ready to play.
Yeah, and then the Monday night game, first Monday night game in the wild card, Rams Cardinals. That was a huge surprise to me at how much of a blowout it was. I thought the Rams were going to win. I didn't think the Rams were going to win that handily. Yep.
I did. I told you that. Remember?
Yeah, it was handily, like not even in question. Yep. Matthew Stafford wins his first playoff game.
Cliff Kingsbury is a joke.
Wins his first playoff game.
I shouldn't say he's a joke. He's just not a good coach. He's probably handsome in someone's book. He's well paid. He's got a nice tan, a great career. All these things could sound like sour grapes for me, but they're not. He just is not a good coach.
Well, I mean,
everywhere he's been, he comes out and does this early, wins early, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And then how bad do you think he misses out on not getting that Oklahoma job? I'll bet he's dying for the Oklahoma job right now.
What? Here's the thing: is that he still's got a contract there. He's still going to be coming back.
That ownership group is not very happy. It would not surprise me if he doesn't make it out of the weekend.
You think so? Eh?
He'll get paid. He's going to get paid, right? I mean, that's the thing with these coaches.
Yeah.
They got guaranteed money sitting in there. Like they're not. They don't have to go work.
No,
they've got real money out there.
Is DeAndre Hopkins your only wide receiver? You know what I mean? Like, I understand he wasn't there. I understand that there was a lot of injuries. People came back to play injured in Arizona. But your team...
Is that the reason you got beat?
No, Kyler Murray
I thought it was
shell-shocked.
I thought it was the scheme that you played got you beat.
Yeah.
That's what I saw.
Like, Kyler Murray looked shell-shocked, throwing all those picks and everything.
Yeah, let's talk about Kyler. Do we really think Kyler's the second coming of a great quarterback?
I never thought that, but a lot of people were talking about that.
I don't think that either, but he's been anointed as this next whatever.
Yes, I know. And it was ever since a Hail Mary.
Jamarcus Russell. He might be, like the Dan DeVito, Arnold Schwarzenegger twin version of Jamarcus Russell.
Like ever since a Hail Mary last season against Buffalo, that's when it was like he was anointed.
Oh, here we go.
It's true. He was anointed at that point. And he
was anointed before then.
I thought. Meanwhile, that was all DeAndre Hopkins. We all know that.
Yeah.
Period.
Okay. In history, there's one receiver I would rather you throw a jump ball to besides DeAndre.
Give it to me.
Do you know who it is?
Give it to me. Give it to me.
Randy Moss.
Okay.
Outside of Randy Moss,
the
only other person I would want to have catch a jump ball is DeAndre Hopkins.
Okay. I could see that. Yeah. That's
and even then, pick. Right? Even then.
Yeah. I mean,
Kyler Murray just put that ball in the air. That wasn't a throw of skill. I shouldn't say that. It wasn't a throw of accuracy, right? Yeah. I mean, even Josh Allen could throw a Hail Mary. See what I did there? Full circle. See myself out.
Well, here's the thing. So now it's all set. So now we got on Saturday the Bengals against the Titans. We got the Niners against the Packers. Sunday, we got the Rams and the Bucks, which I'm surprised that they're not the late night game because it's the Bills and the Chiefs.
Yeah, the Bills and the Chiefs, the marquee matchup.
It really is, I think. Going into this, I mean, with the Bengals and Titans game, I know that they're bringing back Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
For Tennessee.
Maybe more importantly, though, it's Julio Jones and A.J. Brown are both healthy.
Yeah,
that might be the bigger story.
Yeah.
Rushing the ball has not been Tennessee's Achilles heel.
No.
You know what's wild, though, about Mike Vrabel? I'll tell you this. You know how I like to think about sports gambling. In coming out of bye weeks, Mike Vrabel is 19.5 points over the projected win total in his NFL head coaching career. He averages, so they're favored by 3 points. If he holds to his thing, he's going to win by 23. If he just holds to his average coming up a bye week.
Wow.
That guy gets it coming up a bye weeks.
Yeah.
You know who else gets it coming out of bye weeks? Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
That's the guy.
But
that's the thing to watch. In Cincinnati, you got to wonder how focused Cincinnati is winning a game. Listen, they were kings at every Kroger's and Aldi's and wherever else they went this week. Like, those boys didn't pay for groceries nowhere. They broke a 31-year streak.
They did.
How focused are they? We're going to find out. Joe Burrow is saying that's the bottom benchmark for his teams going forward is, winning a first-round playoff game. Yeah. Well, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
But I don't know that they have the horses to hold up to that, that Tennessee defense that's going to come in firing.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm personally calling Tennessee on this.
Gosh darn it. I shouldn't let you go first.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Cincy pulls something out. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. I think it is going to end up being the best game of the weekend, personally. But I think there's better matchups for sure. I think that for sure is better matchups. I think this is the best game of the weekend.
I can see why you say that. Yeah, because it's definitely a boxing match. Yeah. Points are going to be exchanged. Yeah. Who you calling on this? Tennessee. Yeah, of course. It's a given. And then, all right, Niners and the Packers. I think the Niners, their 9 lives are all used up.
Oh.
All gone.
Meow.
I'm sorry. Aaron Rodgers looked if he looked like he was a man on a mission. I think he wants to put a pounding on the Niners. I do.
I think he always wants to put a pounding on the Niners.
Yeah. I wonder why. I wonder why.
You remember why?
Yeah, because they passed on him in the draft. I mean, why not? It's like, yeah, I say so as well. I don't think San Francisco has a snowball's chance against Green Bay. What say you?
I'm picking the Niners. Upset special of the week.
Okay. All right.
I liked what I saw out of San Francisco in week 3 when they played Green Bay. Understanding that Aaron Rodgers was still getting his feet underneath him. I think that San Francisco's defense is built to defeat the the Green Bay Packers.
That was a close game.
That Matt LaFleur and Kyle Shanahan have a bit of a back and forth going on between them with their familiarity with each other. So,
yeah, that was a close game. I remember that.
It was. San Francisco was up. They took a lead late and left Aaron Rodgers 37 seconds. Turns out that was 32 seconds too long. So
that's right. You're absolutely correct. And I do remember that game. It was 37 seconds. That's it. But here's the thing. They still won that game. They still won that game.
That was in San Francisco, and we're in January in Lambeau. Something tells me it's the Niners, and that's just where I'm riding at.
All right. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason about it. Just scheme.
I just feel like there's enough there that it just kind of.
Okay.
Something tells me.
Fair enough. And then we're going to go into Sunday's games. So we got the Rams and the Bucks.
In Tampa Bay.
It's
hard.
It is hard. Right? 2 legendary quarterbacks. I wonder,
does Matt Stafford, now that he has a taste of winning, Cam Akers came back, looked great as a running back for the Rams. The defense looked very solid. They can get after Tom Brady. You have to wonder, does Tom Brady have any healthy tackles? He didn't at the end of the game.
Yeah, that's true. At the end of the game, he didn't. You're absolutely correct.
Christian Wirth, his starting right tackle, is in a walking boot. Who knows if he'll play or not?
That's
You
a
know,
good
They're
point.
down all those receivers. You know, we
Mhm.
don't know if Leonard Fournette's going to play. Ronald Jones may not even play. They might be the third string running back again.
But the
But
Bucks
then
defense,
it's Tom Brady.
it's Tom Brady, and it's the Bucks defense too. They could keep
Yep.
the
I know
score.
it. That's what I'm saying. I think that
Yeah.
the two defenses kind of cancel each other out, and then the injuries on the Buccaneers side makes me feel like the Rams offense has a bit of an advantage in that spot. But then it comes down to the quarterbacks and who is it?
Yeah.
Well, and then also the coaches. Do you
Yeah.
trust Sean McVay more than you trust Bruce Arians?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know the answer to that.
No, that's and they both they've both been to Super Bowls.
I would tell you that my heart is set on the Rams winning this game, but that if I'm gun to head, pull your wallet out, I'm not betting against Tom Brady.
It's a hard one, right? Yeah. So here's the thing: is that the Rams don't
Always
have
washes. I'll be. What's that?
They don't have Robert Woods. They still have Cooper Kupp. They got OBJ.
I mean, you're talking about Cooper Kupp, who's the Triple Crown winner in yards, receptions, and touchdowns this year.
That's why I said they still have Cooper Kupp.
3 other men have done it.
Yeah, and they got OBJ. Yeah,
yeah. And Cooper Kupp had a terribly quiet night. I mean, there's 3 or 4 catches for less than 70 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, but he's not going to be kept off. Like he's going to explode.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what
Yeah.
makes me feel like the Rams have a puncher's chance in this thing. Is that there's all this stuff, kind of in their favor, and they've got this momentum going. And
it's not Jared Goff.
And it's a good team that's been there before, right?
Yeah.
And you've got this great leadership and Aaron Donald, and I can't believe I'm going to say this with Jalen Ramsey, and you're going to, go in there,
Von Miller,
and you're ready. Yeah, and you're ready to go with battle-tested guys. Like everyone in there, minus OBJ and Matt Stafford, have substantial playoff experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Super Bowl rings, if you will, even in that squad, in that locker room. One of the reasons they go and get Von Miller is for his experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you've got a shot, but God bless it, Thomas Brady. Oh, feels so dirty.
It's not just Tom Brady too, because you also got your favorite tight end there as well.
Yeah, but he just comes along. You know what? I was watching those stupid Gronkowski commercials this weekend. I was like, you know what? Like, how many other tight ends fall into that situation, and they are that same guy? Gronkowski's not a generational talent.
You were the one pushing that earlier. You were the one pushing that.
He's a Hall of Famer based on his stats.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he's not the reason why that's so good.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, just think about all the other tight ends that have come and gone that have played with mediocre quarterbacks. That I mean, if Greg Olsen plays with Tom Brady, like, that's insanity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Heath Miller, as good as Heath Miller was in Pittsburgh, if he played with Tom Brady. Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like,
I see what you're saying. That was
not
my
a weapon.
there.
He's not a weapon to be afraid of. He's not a game changer. He's not, that for me.
But he plays for his quarterback. I will say that.
But they know each other so well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, we saw in the Philadelphia game. You can't tell me that Gronkowski's that wide open. You don't know that's the throw. I feel like 50 of their touchdowns have been that throw. Like, you're like, why is he open? You got okey doke on the way in. Like, what happened? You didn't realize that was the play.
Yeah.
Like, anytime he runs 8 yards down and plants that big left foot and cuts to the right, Tom's throwing him the ball.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Go and get it. It's embarrassing.
So you're picking the Rams. I'm going to pick the Bucks because.
No, I'm picking the Bucks because gun to head.
Oh, you are picking the Bucks. Okay.
My heart is saying the Rams, and I won't gloat about it if they do win because I'm not picking them.
All right. Well, then put us both down for the Bucks then, because I'm not going against Tom Brady. I'm sorry.
Well, good. Well, we're going to be split right down the middle on this thing because I am not, spoiler alert, choosing the Buffalo Bills.
Really?
In Kansas City.
So let's get into this because
let's
the thing
see if
is,
you will. Let's test your fandom.
Okay. Well, first off, do you remember a certain game that happened? I believe in week 4. Was it week 4? Everybody was touting this game. Everybody was. I mean, I'll give you this. This is when.
I don't remember where that game was played at. Where
this was
played?
I believe it was in Arrowhead.
Yeah.
And the thing is that this is when Mahomes was having his little issues with the 4 straight losses, and everybody was like, ugh. But there was a team that walked in there.
Patrick was too busy trying to get the Patrick Price from State Farm Insurance. This a regular old sneakerhead Patrick Mahomes. That guy. And when that guy was playing quarterback.
I'm still saying that he was just getting used to his new child. He was getting used to a routine and everything in the beginning there. It's just like the sleep deprivation is a real thing. But the thing is that Buffalo Bills team looked like what this is a Buffalo Bills team put together in order to take out Kansas City. And that's what they did that week. And I think that they can do it again. I do.
It's a very different Kansas City Chiefs team.
Listen, Kansas got the taste of winning.
If it was the same team that they played back in week 4, you are 100% correct. And I would even pick Buffalo. I'm not even picking Buffalo to spite. Because I don't remember exactly what it is, so I won't quote what the number is, but the Super Bowl hangover. So the loser of the Super Bowl doesn't make the playoffs 90% of the time, probably. Right? I mean,
we're talking about Patrick Mahomes, though. We are talking about.
They've turned it and Andy Reid, right? You can't shortchange Andy Reid. And what they've been able to do with injuries, right? They've been down, a couple of receivers. They're down their starting running back. And they've been kind of just playing, fast and loose. But Andy Reid got that ship turned around. Patrick Mahomes, figured it out. And now, man.
I'm not disagreeing with you that this is, to me, this is the game of the week because both these offenses are high-powered.
Yeah. It's the highest scoring game of the week. I don't think it's the best game.
And it's going to be, I really think it's a battle of attrition, whoever has the ball last.
I think I hope that's what it is. I really do. My gut says that one of the teams quits when the other one gets up by 2 touchdowns.
Interesting.
I can see this easily being a Buffalo win by 17.
Mm-hmm.
And just Kansas just running out of gas.
That's interesting. It'll be surprising because this team's been together. Kansas City's been together for a few years now, right? Like with Tyreek Hill, with all their legendary pieces that they've had. So, do you think age is coming into this too? I mean,
I think so. I think we're getting to see the end of the run here.
Yeah.
We're going to see Patrick Mahomes reinvented with a whole new set of weapons.
That's what has to happen.
Travis Kelce's like 32.
It's crazy, right? It's insane.
Yeah.
And the thing is that it's not like I mean, Stephon Diggs is younger, but Cole Beasley is up there.
Please don't just try to say that Cole Beasley is the number 1 receiver.
Please. No. Come on now.
Let's not get back.
Shake your head.
Remember earlier you said he was the best slot receiver in the league. Remember that conversation?
I did say that.
I apologize. Everyone's had to watch
it. He's the best slot receiver in Buffalo
this year.
I'm calling Buffalo on this one.
That's not even, you can't even say that because what's that guy that you guys have in Buffalo? Emmanuel Sanders isn't still there.
Yeah, he's been lights out this season. He's been amazing. Yeah. Amazing. It's like
he plays in the slot, doesn't he?
He does play in slot. Okay. Yeah. But he's been amazing. What an addition to that offense, really. Listen, I know Josh Allen's had his hiccups in a few games. We've seen it. We've all seen it this year.
I don't think this is going to be a Josh Allen game to lose.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think it will be.
Buffalo's defense has been stout, though, throughout the whole season. Yeah. Even in their losses, I mean, they held teams down,
I don't think that it's going to come down to offense or defense or even special teams. I think it's going to come down to the head coaches. And I don't know that McDermott's got the sack to stand up to Andy Reid.
Interesting. He stood up to Bill Belichick.
Once. Bill Belichick lives rent-free in his head for how long? You know what I mean?
Well, it's great football about to happen this weekend. I am super stoked about it.
Favorite weeks of the year, really.
It really is. I mean, and the thing is that now we're seeing the best of the best come out. I mean, it's the way it should be. It's
4 really good matchups.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And nothing that we're all there scratching our heads on or even though the whole entire season's been parity, there's nothing that we're scratching our heads on.
Well, I mean, think about if it was Tennessee, Bills, and Cincinnati, Kansas City, not as great, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying if the way the seeding fell, right?
But Tennessee Bills would have been a good game there too, because that game
and we'll
went down
see
to
it
the
next
wire.
week probably, and we'll probably see it next week, right? That's
like
the conference championship is Buffalo, Tennessee, right?
Yeah,
that's not a stretch.
It's not a stretch, Buffalo.
And I would love to see a Rams 49ers conference championship. Oh,
that would be crazy if that were to happen. That would be crazy.
Two teams from the same division playing for the conference championship again.
Like insanity. Absolutely.
When has that happened before?
That would be when the Seattle Seahawks won their Super Bowl. Yeah, 13. That's right, buddy. Yeah. You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct.
Picks are in. The fix may be in. Sean, I know you want to talk hockey.
Buddy, always close to my heart. So, I want to get into this Leon Draisaitl thing. I want to get into this. First off, I have to say, I don't know what the hell the Leafs are doing. I mean, just because the Habs...
I'll tell you what they're doing. They're staying on brand. That's what they're doing.
You drop in games when you're up 3-1. You're dropping them and losing them 6-3. You're losing them in overtime.
Your team is going to back into the first round again like they always do and then lose.
Just let them get it all out. Let them get it all out.
You're going to be upset now. Then you're going to get this high again in 3 weeks. And they're going to be winning. And then they're going to fall apart again.
Yeah, whatever.
I can't believe that your hockey fandom doesn't branch out to other teams by now. As often as you've been let down by the Leafs,
unbelievable.
You should for sure be a different fan somewhere else.
I love hockey, okay, and I'll watch every game in the playoffs.
I know you will. I'm just saying, the way that your fandom splits around in every other major sport, you would think that.
What are you talking about? I'm a Bills fan. What are you talking about? I'm a Raptors fan. What are you talking about? I don't flip around. What are you talking about?
Do you own any Cleveland Cavaliers basketball gear?
I told you the reason behind this. Yes, I do.
Not to wear it at the stadium because you didn't do that.
I did too.
No, you didn't. Do you wear any Buffalo Bills? Do you wear any Buffalo Bills gear? I mean,
Maple Leafs. Yeah, I do have some Cleveland Browns gear. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Do you have any Boston Celtics gear?
That's not fair. But I do. Yes.
Do you have any Buffalo Sabres gear? Oh, here we are. We made it.
Yeah, there you go.
The only team you are true to is the Toronto Blue Jays.
I love the Blue Jays. No, I got a Mariners jersey.
Oh, that's right. You do.
Yeah, I do.
Just making the case for me.
Yeah. The thing is that, if the Leafs get it out right now, that's fine. Just get it out of your system. Montreal goes and hires their GM that used to be a player agent. Crazy stuff. They literally hired this guy personally, I think, because he speaks French and their president does not. So it's funny because it's like they have to do this thing where they have to speak French as well, and it's like you're excluding, you're excluding so many potential candidates because you don't speak French. It'll be interesting. We'll have to see what happens there. But
are you serious?
Certain, yes. You're talking about a very, very French market.
I feel like if you believed that it was true, you would have said oui.
But without further ado, let's talk about Jim Matheson and Leon Draisaitl, okay? As we know, Edmonton Oilers, you got two players that are racking up the points, right?
Yes.
But you're on a team that just cannot win. They're not winning games. They're losing games at an unbelievable rate, and because it's like bad goaltending, bad defense. I mean, you only have one line. You're a one-dimensional team, right?
Is there a hair product shortage in Canada? It's a serious question.
Why do you say this?
I mean, they're not as groomed as they should be, and they just can't get it together.
I don't know.
The hands aren't sticky enough. They can't hold on to the sticks.
I thought Leon Draisaitl looked great in that. He looked great in that interview.
He does, but the rest of them, maybe they don't. Maybe he's hoarding it all. Maybe.
So let me just give you this. So, this is. I'm going to get my bone to pick here. But the thing is, though, is that okay? You got potentially right now the number 2 player in the world, right, with Leon Draisaitl up there. Currently, past 2 seasons, this guy's won a Hart Memorial. He's won the Art Ross. He's a definitely top 5 player in the world right now. Definitely.
Okay, just quickly. Top 2 or top 5? Make a decision.
I would put him probably number 3 overall.
Okay.
In the world.
All right. I'm not going to disagree with you. You just contradicted your own self.
I did a little bit,
I need to know where he sits.
You have one of the best players, an elite player, okay,
in the world,
and Jim Matheson, who is he's a Hockey Hall of Fame reporter. He's been covering the Oilers since 1975. He's been doing this job a long time.
One year less than you've been alive.
That's
a compliment.
So he literally is asking him pretty much the same question, right? Like, how is it that you guys are number 1 and 2 in scoring, but you can't win? And he's asking it in so many different ways as to why aren't you winning? What do you have to do to change, right? And so you see Leon Draisaitl, he's not enjoying these questions at all. He's just like, yeah, we need to do something. Yeah, everything needs to be different. Yeah, I don't know. And then finally, he asked him, do you guys think the things need to be changed? And he's there, yeah, sure. You know what? You're going to write about it anyways. You know everything. That's what he says to Jim Matheson. And then Jim Matheson responds back to him. Why are you being so pissy? Why are you being so pissy to me? He goes, what? You asked a question and I answered. He goes, not a good answer like this, right? And then I have another question after that. Jim Matheson, I have another question after he says that. The thing is that, listen.
Did Mr. Leon just say, well, then ask a better question if you want a better answer?
No, I think he was done with the interview at that point, right? He didn't swear at him. He didn't do anything like that. You could tell he didn't want to be up there talking about this.
Well, yeah, and I guess I could see from his angle, like, if you ask me, like, hey, what do you guys have to do to win? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what has to change?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, when you're asking the same question, like, 3 or 4 different ways.
Yeah.
And you're sucking at your job. Like,
yeah.
I get it.
I get it. You don't want to be there, but there's no reason to say.
Question?
Oh, I didn't even listen because after that, I was just like, how did this guy just ask him? Why is he being so pissy? It's like,
that's one of my favorite words.
what the heck? And all I'm thinking is like, just because you've been at a job for a long time doesn't necessarily give you the right. I mean, this guy is a human being just like anybody else. Yeah. He doesn't want to answer these questions. No, who wants to answer why you suck? Why does your team suck?
At some point, it's like asking. It's like your great uncle asks you what you want to be when you grow up when you're 12, and you're like, "Hey, man, I'm just trying some mashed potatoes." Like, you just step off a little bit.
And it's not
Grandma, come get your brothers. Just won't leave me alone.
And it's not like Kyrie Irving. You know what I mean?
No, we'll just go up there. Have a nice Thanksgiving.
Like Leon, he seems like a nice guy. He just doesn't want to be there. He doesn't want to be there. And what say you on that? Like, do you think that Leon was out of line, or do you think Jim Matheson maybe overstepped a little?
I think Jim Matheson overstepped a little bit. I think we see more and more of that coming from. And it's hard to be a reporter these days, right? It's hard to get people to trust you. It's hard to, these press conferences, you're not friends anymore. It feels like back, even, 10 years ago, you weren't asking these hard questions because you weren't worried about these clickbait links and trying to get an inflammatory response that's going to go viral. And, there's a lot of pressure on news media. I get it. But man, you got to know the room. Like, you're not building relationships with that guy doing that. That guy's not giving you a story later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't want to say that he was that he was wrong in asking the questions. I think maybe his approach was maybe, he wasn't reading the room. He was just trying to get somewhere, and that's just unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, you have to ask the tough questions, and that's a tough question. Why aren't you winning? I mean, absolutely. It's a viable question.
Like, but what I mean by reading the room is you ask the question, right? And then you just read that guy's body language, like he's picking a fight. Just imagine if you just ask, not you, because you would never fight with your spouse. But if I asked Nikki a question and she was less than amicable on her response, I might ask again if I really care. But if that second time she's also fired up, I'm not asking a third time.
Are you about to say, why are you being so pissy?
Yeah, because then I'm going to get mad. And the fourth question I'm going to ask is, why are you being so pissy? And then you know what that means? It means that couch that I bought that's real comfortable to sleep on is where I'm going to be at for my own self-preservation. Hypothetically, I don't sleep on the couch. My wife is wonderful and she doesn't do that to me. But even though she probably should sometimes.
Man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you got to know it. Like, what are you really driving at? Do you really want why do you want an answer so badly that you're driving someone to have an emotional response to you? I wonder what your motivation is in that world. Yeah,
and it's a shame because, I mean, the guy is a Hockey Hall of Fame reporter. Yeah. He's not, he's done some really good work. It's like,
but that doesn't entitle you to be a jackass.
Yeah, exactly. Like I understand. Like, a lot of people will think, oh, he's a privileged hockey player. Oh, he makes millions of dollars and he can't answer this question. But what did you
think? This is in the Wayback Machine. What did you think when Deion Sanders was upset with Tim McCarver for his comments back when Deion was playing both hockey or football and baseball?
Yeah.
Right.
But that was good TV. That's what that was.
Tim McCarver didn't think it was good TV. He's still upset about it.
But
20 years later.
The thing is, though, is that they're human beings as well, and you just, I mean, how would you like using 7 games of
reproach? They're not. They shouldn't. I mean, you should be able to question, the media out there for what their intentions are too.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's trying to. I mean, they got what. I mean, he got what he wanted in the end. Is people to talk about his questioning of a player.
Yeah,
it's everywhere, right? I mean, I saw it a bunch of times. I just didn't watch it. Like, my only reaction to it was, "Oh, that's how you spell his last name." I was like, "Oh, okay." It's an interesting pronunciation for if that's how you spell it.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Well, having talked about that, I do have. We're coming to our one-on-one question here.
Yeah,
and I've been thinking about this. Watching some of the NBA, we're coming into the All-Star games coming up. Like, voting is happening.
More importantly, we're coming into the trade deadline season, which is beautiful for me. This is my favorite time of year in basketball.
Yeah,
Rosters are about to get set because basketball starts to really kick in after the All-Star weekend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Trade deadline, all these new players are available because of how the contracts work. Frees up some of this dead money. Now you can kind of move in and shaking a little bit. Buyers and sellers. Anyway.
Well, I was looking. I mean, Portland is right there at that play-in. Toronto's right there at that.
Well, they haven't had 3 of their main starters for how long? I mean, Norm Powell. Dame just had surgery. CJ had a collapsed lung. He just came back 2 nights ago.
Mm-hmm.
They're still in it.
And you have teams like the Bulls that are feasting, and you got teams like the Suns that are feasting.
Golden State is scary. Klay Thompson is just otherworldly.
Yeah.
What's wild is, last time I was in the barbershop, getting this fantastic haircut, and we're talking about like generational talent and like how good Wilt Chamberlain was, right? And that you couldn't just drop anybody into Wilt Chamberlain's era and expect them to do the same things that Wilt Chamberlain was doing.
Right.
Really, the consensus was it's Bill Russell and Shaq. Those are about the only 2 players that are going to dominate like Wilt dominated. If Bill Russell didn't care, you know what's crazy? Listen, this is a stat that blew me away. We all can agree that Bill Russell is fantastic, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Do you know how many seasons Bill Russell played, including college and like Olympics?
No, right? You're going to have to give 17 right? altogether. Okay.
He won 14 championships.
That's right.
/ gold medal.
Wow.
17 opportunities to win, gold medal or championship, right? 14 out of the 17 times that he was a professional basketball player, that, or whatever you want to call it, won.
Wow. That is
we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that enough.
Yeah.
Last night I watched Joel Embiid, who I dislike for I don't know why. Maybe it's because he's from Kansas. I don't like the Jayhawks. I don't know what the reason is. Just not a big Joel Embiid fan. That guy put up 50 points last night in 27 minutes. And I thought, man, maybe
How close did he
Mr.
get,
Embiid. He scored 50. He only played 27 minutes and scored 50 points in the whole game.
In the whole game, he only played. Okay.
He only played 27 minutes in the whole game and scored 50 points.
He didn't play any more then.
No, he's played 27 minutes, 50 points.
Wow.
And I thought, man, you know what? He might have gone back to Wilt's era and got 100.
No.
But that's not what you were going to ask me.
No. But now you got me thinking about another tweet I saw from Dwyane Wade, and that was something. And now, actually, I mean, I do want to ask you then about Kevin Durant and the Nets' chances if he is gone for the rest of the season. I mean, he's out indefinitely right now.
Yeah. And they don't have any chances.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it's
aside from Kyrie. Kyrie's a part-time player. If you don't know, Kyrie Irving can't play in certain arenas that have vaccination requirements. He's making a choice and he's welcome to make that choice. Kyrie's not a difference maker that Kevin Durant is.
No.
That Brooklyn Nets team with a strong James Harden and a Kyrie every night still is not winning a championship.
No, not even close. I mean,
they're not getting out of maybe the first round with James Harden and Kyrie Irving only playing on the road.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
So I think that unfortunately, Brooklyn's championship hopes sit firmly on Kevin Durant's left knee.
Yeah, I mean, you have to hope that he comes back. It's as simple as that. Wow. That just made me, that tweet. Now you got it in my head. Now it's burning in there. So Dwyane Wade came out and said that, and I'm just paraphrasing, so I'm not going to do it any real justice here, but he basically stated that in 15 years, people are going to forget who Michael Jordan is. And the greatest generational player that is still going to be remembered because of what he's doing is LeBron James. Now, that's just my paraphrase.
Yeah, I heard that too.
You heard that too. Okay.
I will say this. That's impossible.
I want to say that too, because nobody's going to forget.
Air Jordan 53 is going to be coming out that season.
Yeah.
And someone's going to have to go watch the tape. This isn't a scenario of there's no real good film of Wilt playing or George Matheson or even Bill Russell. Like those weren't games that were nationally broadcast, even in the championships, right? That's a whole different thing. That's not what's happening now. We have all this Michael Jordan film now. You're telling me that the kids aren't going to watch it? In 15 years, when I'm a grandfather, you think I'm not going to put my grandkids on my knee and go, hey, watch this guy. This is basketball right here. Here's Larry Bird. Here's Michael Jordan. Here's Matty. Like, come on.
Like I thought it was a little absurd.
First,
to say something like that.
I would say the second part to that too is that LeBron James isn't even the most generational player of his era. Steph Curry's the one that's changed the game and raised the bar.
That's a very good point.
So you
with
can
that 3-point,
LeBron James is going to be the only guy available.
Yeah. The thing is that LeBron James, for what he's doing at his age, is something.
Yeah. I'm not taking that away.
Yeah.
I think we talked about this last time you and I were together, on live and we were together. Last time we were together, Sean. But the last time that we were recording, and we talked about how, LeBron's going to have every record. He's going to be the youngest two and the oldest two.
Yeah. We were talking about, that's right. Yeah.
Oldest to score 30 points, the youngest to score 30 points, all those things. That's exceptional. Right? You're not going to find, I'm not a LeBron hater where I'm like, oh, LeBron, blah. I don't think LeBron's as good as Michael Jordan. I don't believe that to be true at all, based on the criteria that I hold, which is championships and defensive MVPs and blah, 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 blah. Right. However, LeBron James is still a fantastic basketball player and a phenomenal athlete.
Yeah.
That he's going to be the hierarchy in 15 years with all the media we have today and all the tape that we have that already exists, that they're going to forget about Michael Jordan. Yeah. Come on.
I thought that was a very, it could be because he played with the man that's why he's thinking that, that's really loyal.
He's also, they're more linked together than just being former teammates.
That's right.
Their kids have grown up together and played basketball. They're linked.
Yeah,
more than just on the court, and that's great. But
what an irresponsible.
Dwayne's trumping and he's hyping up his homie a little bit more than
It's an irresponsible comment to me. I mean, he's entitled to make it, but it's like, come on, man. Like, really?
Yeah.
Because people will still be talking about Michael Jordan, 25 years from now, 50 years from now.
Yeah. He'll still be putting shoes out.
Yeah. The man changed the game. Just like, as you said, Steph Curry did the exact same thing during this time period here as well, where the 3-ball was not even thought of to be like that, where it is a weapon. And now you must defend because it's coming.
That makes the Ray Allen, Reggie Miller records that they held even that much more. Right? About teams that were shooting 5 to 7 3-pointers a game in the Reggie Miller, Ray Allen era. And those guys were shooting 4 or 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then you got Steph Curry, who shoots 12. Team shoots 33 threes a game. Like, just the sheer scale.
Mm-hmm.
That's general. I mean, they've changed the game for the better. It's way more exciting, right?
Completely.
I mean, it's fantastic. But
man, well, my man, thank you for coming down this road with me to talk about this. Do you have a one-on-one question for me, or what?
Well, it's a bit interesting. Maybe you know how I feel about food. I've been experimenting this whole pandemic with just different sandwiches.
Okay.
And I would just want to know, what's your go-to sandwich that people wouldn't think would be, like, it's a bit, I don't want to say eccentric, but it's not a common, it's not a turkey sandwich, right? Or it's not a, you get a little flair to something that you like to do?
I'm pretty plain, man. I mean, if it's going to be, sandwiches that usually Montreal smoked meats involved somewhere,
but like, do you change up the bread? Like, I've been on this
rye bread.
I have I do like this toasted sourdough peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
You put peanut butter on both sides, then you pack the jam in the middle, so it's like a pocket, so it's almost like a donut. And then you butter the outside of the bread, and then you fry it in a frying pan and get it nice and crispy. See, that's what I'm asking. That's what I'm after here. I don't know how you got to be so big. You don't have this taste like I do. How many types of bread do you have in your house right now, Sean?
Well, right now it's just one type. It's this low carb bread. It's actually pretty good.
It's not good. I've had it. It's terrible. Terrible, Sean.
It's pretty good. You ever do that? Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what's really good for supper? It's low carb bread and green beans every night of the week. Sean, blink twice if you're being held captive against your will.
Oh my gosh, Brad, it's always a treat each week, man, to come on here and do this. I can't believe we reached the end of our time.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, folks, go vote for us. See if you can get us some hardware. We
really
appreciate your support as always. Got big things coming in the new year. So thanks for rocking with us. We appreciate you. Till next time, be good or be good at it.
Right. Oh.
You've listened to the podcast, but now it's time to visit us in our virtual sports bar. Get all of our info at guysbeersports.com, where you can find all the ways to connect with us. Watch for live conversations with Brad and Sean that happen throughout the week, and join in with your favorite local beer. You can share your thoughts in the conversation comments with your own uploaded videos, or even join us as a guest live commentator. The GBS Virtual Sports Bar is open for business. Come on in, boys and girls.